Live. Well. Welcome to another edition of Law, Business, and Credit, the Urban Law Perspective. I'm Leslie Peters, and I'm joined by
Charles Irvin. What's
of
going on,
Urban
bro?
Law PLLC, where we like to say when you call, we answer. Well, first of all, I want to apologize for last week's episode. We ran into some technical difficulties and wasn't quite able to get it going, but certainly back today on the last episode we have before Christmas, and so we wanted to share some good things. We'll be joined by our guest here shortly, and we'll introduce him as he comes on. But Charles, tell me a little bit about your week.
Busy as usual. We had some interesting deliveries coming to the office today. Somebody's missing Christmas presents, but we were able to redirect them and make sure they got to the rightful owners. Court in extreme North Mississippi, about 3 hours away on yesterday. And it's been busy. It's been a busy December, which is good. Clients in every day, and we're steadily making progress on getting things the way we want them over here. All of our technology is humming along, brother. So that's always good.
Well, indeed it is. I can tell you how frustrating it is when your technology is not cooperating, as we experienced last week. But it's certainly been a great experience to have that going and operating and moving, and looking forward to all that we have in store and what's coming. So really excited about that. I think for just thinking about all that we do, and we do so much with technology, to not have it, it can really put a hindrance on the way in which we like to operate. Would you agree?
No doubt about it. I mean, we reach as far as the Midwest, all the way out to the West Coast, and you know, clients sometimes just want to look at you, and to be able to put them in a position to be comfortable. Technology is our ally in that endeavor, and so you know, we appreciate the time that you take to put us on the cutting edge. Uh, and we get new capabilities every other day. So thank you for that. I know I speak for myself and the rest of the staff. It takes a learning curve, but once you learn it, it makes life much better.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. And I think, just the ability to be able at a touch of a button to communicate it from the Dallas office to Jackson, and I mean it's almost like you're right down the hall. So even when I'm not, or even when you're not, so that's certainly helps in a lot of ways. I was just thinking about as we wrap up 2018, and just thinking about all the clients and all the things we've done in the course of a year. And I think it's safe to say that you never know what your day is going to be like at work. You never know what challenges the clients are going to present to you. So you always look forward to going into work every day and diving in and finding ways to help people. And I have to say, those ways are not always typical ways. You got to think creative and be willing to be outside the box. And I love doing that, and I know you do too. But I know most people don't think of attorneys that way. So speak to that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we approach it in our own unique way. I think one of the big things that always comes up is attorneys are not the most trusted profession out there, and so we normally get clients pushing against us instead of helping us, and it has nothing to do with what we do at Urban Law, and we accept that. But we do try to set the expectations so that they understand we are different. We are going to listen to you. Now we may come right back at you and say, "Hey, look, that's not what I said," but it's out of love, because we want to put them into the best position, and we welcome input. We'll call it input. you know, uh, that energy makes us strive to be better. And we don't want to be good, we want to be great. So we're working to move from good to great. And the way we do that is servicing the clients at the highest level possible.
Oh, absolutely. As I just check and see if our guest has made it here, talk a little bit about that, why that family perspective is so important, and what that looks like.
Well, when you're talking about cases in particular, it's been my personal feeling for quite some time, and it took me a while to boil it down. But I feel like every case is a story, and so what does that look like? It's not. Well, it is. It's the art of storytelling from a legal perspective, because while we do want to make sure the legal issues are covered, we want to tell our individual clients stories, and they have some great stories. And it doesn't just apply to any one particular area of law. The facts of the case become their story and how they seek their own version of what justice is. And so our job is to shape and mold, and get the best out of them as it relates to telling the uniqueness of their story, because sometimes it's those small details that can change the course of a case. And so, we spend time churning through as much as we can to ensure that we pull out those nuggets.
All right. Well, great point. Well, I see our guest is joining us. So I want to take a minute and introduce as I bring him in. Here in just a second as I bring him in the room, but we will be joined by one of our clients, and that's Mr. Brian Wesley. So let me just go ahead and bring him on into the room.
All right.
Hey, Brian, how are you?
Hey, what's up, Brian?
Good. Hey, we gonna go live. We are live.
We
live right now. Hey. Happy holidays, man.
But I'm a Merry Christmas type of guy, and I'm gonna just say this: it's been wonderful having you and everyone, your firm, help me and my family. That's number one. I mean, and I guess I can go ahead and start this out saying, is that okay?
Yeah, tell them what you do. Tell them where you're located at. Give them the full month. Give it all to them and let them know, because we want people to know about you.
Okay, well, my name is Brian Wesley. We have a business in Cedar Hill called CrynoNow, and CrynoNow is just where we have your whole body just feeling great, feeling better. We do it all naturally, and as you know, then we also do. We dibble and dabble in executive producing certain things when it comes to films. So not only has the firm helped me with my contracts, they've helped me with advice to franchise or consult. Also, and even to get my personal credit straight. That's an awesome tool that's needed to get business funding. So your personal credit has to be good. And I tell you, you won't believe this, but I was trying to prove a point. It was probably about almost 1 a.m. I didn't recognize what time it was. It was such a heated battle. And I called my lawyers. I called them. I called Charles, and you know what? He picked up the phone, and it just seems like he was like Clark Clinton, Superman. He just went from sleep to top lawyer in a second. I asked him one question, and boom, he was on it. And the guy that I was debating with, he was like, okay, that's pretty awesome that you also have a lawyer that'll pick up the phone. And so I don't know too many people you can call straight like that and pick up the phone that's representing you, that you have a retainer with, that can find out any information that's needed. And sometimes we just need to know, hey, is this legit? Is this work, or this is what I'm in? I need to be covered. And basically, they just make sure that you're safe. That's one thing I can say. This is make sure that when they represent you, they make sure that that when they write that contract, it's in the best. You're at the advantage. The advantage is you, and they seek to be experts. And they just have you they just have us in a win situation. And I really am appreciative for meeting the brothers in the firm, Charles and Leslie, and it's awesome.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to work with you, and we look forward to working with you for many years to come. But one thing I want you to be sure to explain to our listeners, because there's people all over the country, and tell them. I know we put the name of your business up, but tell them what cryotherapy is and some of the benefits.
Okay. Well, with cryotherapy, whole body cryotherapy. Cryo means cold in the Greek language. So we use really cold temperatures for 2 to 3 minutes on the top layer of the skin. And what that does is it takes the brain into survival mode. So it brings all the blood into your core where your organs are, because you don't need your arms or legs to survive. You need your core organs to survive. Well, while you're in the cryo chamber for the 2 to 3 minutes, that's oxidated blood, nutrient-rich blood that's circulating right there in the core. So when you come out, all that blood now goes back out through your whole body, and that starts the recovery process. We're talking about lowering inflammation naturally. We're talking about reducing swelling, soreness. We're talking about better sleep, better energy. And it's immediate. So the more you do it, the more the benefits increase. But CrynoNow, we do the cold therapy, whole body cryotherapy. We do compression therapy, which just compress your arms, hips, or legs, and just gets the lactic acid moving. We also do ozone. Ozone is very powerful. Ozone steam sauna. So that ozone, it oxidizes your tissue, blood, and lymphatic system. And I tell you, it's a detox. It helps lower inflammation as well. So a lot of people go from the cold to hot. And then also we do massage and we do IV therapy. It's we're on Instagram, just CrynoNow, CrynoNow. We have a website. It's our name backwards, nowcryo.com. So that's our business. That's what we do. Because we get a lot of people who want us to franchise. They want us me to consult. So Charles and Leslie, they put me at the best advantage to do that and to help people get that up and rolling.
Well, Brian, you as good as we are, I mean, I've been in that cryo chamber, and my wife, I was just talking about it, she's like, I got to get back to the new machines, and she wants to start coming weekly. And I got to tell you, I love it. I mean, and they do so much, but they educate you about why you're doing what you're doing and how it's helping your body. And that's what I appreciate. You take no matter if the person is 80, whether they 18 and playing high school sports, you guys do a great job of breaking it down to whatever level they are and making them conscious about the product and how it can be beneficial. And that's what I just find so amazing. And not only you, but your whole staff. So kudos to you and just the way you navigate around that space and the way you navigate around the city. I think it's only fair. I think we're going to get Brian into Mississippi and to Jackson to share some of that knowledge. I mean, he has so many other wonderful things he does, and he will be coming back, in the new year to talk about something really, really, really amazing that we're going to bring into the area. And really, really excited about that.
I think that's we'll leave that right there. Let's not go too far. Because we want to break that out in 2019.
Yes. As we'll leave it right there, but you telling everybody there in Mississippi, you're gonna make them the safest. We have a lot of first generation millionaires that they just want to be safe. That's it. That's right. We're gonna make you be safe, and I'll leave that right there. With a lot of great things in 2019 coming. That's gonna really just put everybody just just in that safe feeling and enjoying life more, and it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
And then to add something, we're the only people. CrynoNow is the only place that's available 24 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you
Yeah,
to speak to that because
Yeah.
you can go day or night, 24 hours a day, and get your treatment, and it doesn't take long. But you really
It don't
come
take-
out ready to go.
Right. So they can, you can always walk in from 9 a.m. to 7. But if they want to come anytime other than before 9 or after 7, all you got to do is call and make the appointment. Or you can book online. Our phone number is 972-291-1000. And I'm telling you, it works and it's natural, and that's what's awesome.
Oh, yeah. I got your website going up at the bottom of the screen, and I can tell you that 24 hours works. And because I went up one night, I know it was about 2 a.m. But the other thing that's unique about it, and I'm going to throw up your website so our audience can definitely see that here shortly. But go if you never experienced cryo, and particularly if you're in the Texas area. I mean, there's cryo, and then there's CrynoNow. CrynoNow is Brian Wesley, and what they do is to a whole nother level. It truly is.
Thank you.
So I definitely experienced that. And once you go, I'll tell you, you'll be hooked. Because Charles was actually in town. We were working in Dallas, and he was in Dallas office, and he had heard about it. And I lived down the street from it and hadn't heard about it. And I was skeptical. The first time we met Brian, skeptical going in. He saw I was a little nervous. I mean, you talk about sub-zero temperatures. Brother was a little nervous of that one, and but he calmed my nerves and got me in there, and I gotta tell you, it was amazing. So if you're a little scared out there, don't let those temperatures scare you. It'll be over before you even realize you were cold.
That's right.
That's right.
And tell him, Brian,
warm up immediately, so you don't have anything to worry about. And my son been doing it since he was 5, so it's safe.
Yeah, and you're not standing still for that 3 minutes. You're constantly moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're in your underwear, and you have socks, gloves, and slippers on. You get in with the robe. You hand us the robe over top because we don't want to expose you. You can always, see people do it. Go to our website or to any social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and just see people doing it. I'm telling you, if it's good enough for our professional athletes that's making millions, our soccer moms like it. So we get the ages from 5 to 90 that come in. So it'll definitely help you.
That's right.
Without a doubt. Brian, I know you got to go, and I know you're running. I got a couple other things, but was there anything you wanted to particularly share with the audience that we hadn't covered?
Well, I would say, as far as business goes, you want to have your good team, and to have a good law and business team around you, it helps. It helps so much, and we've been going since 2014. And I mean, it's needed, and it's just what you have to have. And I'm thankful. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. No, I think that's pretty much it.
Brian, I will say this, though. I think for many entrepreneurs out there, and we do a lot of work to cater to the small business person, they always want to ask the question, and always nervous to ask it, but how did you get started, and how did you, because you had talked a little bit about that faith journey and how you stepped out. So talk a little bit about that for the entrepreneurs and small business people that may be teetering and thinking about just giving up. What kind of words can you share with them?
Well, what happened was I played collegiate football for Texas A&M. Y'all see that right there, Texas A&M, and letterman for Texas A&M. Then I played a little arena football, and then I went into coaching and teaching. So I taught and coached high school sports for 6 years, and then in 6 more years I started. After that, I trained teachers and was an instructional coach, and then I made principal of a high school, and then I started back working out again and running, and I was hurting. So someone else told me about whole body cryotherapy. I went and did it up north in North Dallas. I loved it. and went 3 days straight. And I said, you know what? We don't have one here down south. And I know our people would love it here in the south and don't want to drive way to north to do these type of services. And I tell you, the rest was history. I stopped education in 2014, and been going strong ever since. And but I have a principal and teacher certification, so that can never be taken away. But just took the jump and jumped on out there, and you learn a lot, and your experience is worth the experience you gain is a big value. And I'm always down to help and consult people and get them to understand what we're doing, and help them in business. So I just think if you can help people, solve a problem and be their answer, you will always be in business.
That's right.
And that's true. And I know, as we look even in the Jackson area, and I know Charles said there might be cryos, but there's nothing like what you have here. So if there's any entrepreneurs out, certainly, dial them up. I mean, because just like we answer the phone, I mean, he forgot to tell you, he answers the phone also 24 hours a day. So,
I have to. I have no choice. When you put that 24 hours out there, you will get calls at 2, 3 in the morning. But it's been exciting answering that phone at 3 in the morning. I mean, you get professional basketball players who are off season, and they work out at crazy hours, and nobody else is open but us. So they'll make that call, and they can't believe it either. But so we answer that phone, and they are very happy, and they're pleased, and we keep our regular prices. There's no premium for calling us at 2 or 3 in the morning. We are available 24 hours.
That's right.
Brian, talk to Brian about before we let him out. I know he's a busy man, and thank you, Brian, for taking a few minutes to be on with us today out of your busy schedule. Charles?
Well, I just want to tell Brian and Corey and all the kids, have a happy, safe, Merry Christmas, and thank you for coming and sharing with us. I'm sure I'll talk to you sometime over the break, but I wanted to say that to you because everybody's moving fast, and sometimes we want to make we just want to make sure we appreciate you and your family.
We do.
Well, that is awesome. We're going on the 2nd annual Wesley cruise. We fly out to Florida tomorrow. Yeah. We fly out to Florida tomorrow. Got two connecting rooms, and we just gonna total relax. See, we go hard all year to take a week off and let our hair down. You see what I'm saying? Let that hair down.
There you go.
Well, you know what? That's important, and you have to do that. I mean, I usually, the Peters take that annual break away from everything we do. Ours over Thanksgiving. We take the week there, and we started that. This was our 3rd year of doing that one. So kudos to you on that one. Have a bunch of fun and try to relax a whole lot.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna relax. It's on. It is on. Well, thank you. Whenever you need anything, you just give me a holler, and we'll definitely be talking. I can't wait to 2019. It's gonna be some even more happy people in 2019. That's awesome.
All right. Well, thank you, Brian, and we'll talk to you next time. Have fun.
All right, we will. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. The great Brian Wesley.
So, I mean, that was exciting. I mean, you heard it from Brian, and he is just such a humble guy. I mean, he didn't even talk about half of the stuff that Brian has his hands in and the successes he's having. But it all comes down to, taking that walk, right? Believing in yourselves. And he said something that was very powerful. He said, if you're always willing to help others, you'll be fine in business. And it's true. Even when most other people won't, when most people say no, and even when you might not have the total answer, but the fact that you're willing to help, you say, I don't know, but I'm willing to help you. Here's what we can do. Or you may want to call here. Here's a possible resource for you. And I think that's key for everybody that's listening out there. It's key with just life in general. You know, if you want to receive something in your hands, give something. You know, that's
That's
you know
right.
that's
I would say too. One thing that we've learned, and a lot of people can learn from Brian, just go out there and do it. You may not be right the first couple times, but as long as you keep doing it, you get up every morning and you work as hard as you can, it'll smooth out.
yeah.
And uh, I was having a conversation earlier today, and somebody asked me, "What's the best advice when talking to someone who wants to go into business?" And I told them in one word: start.
Yeah. Yeah, because otherwise you'll sit in that state of planning and wishing and dreaming forever. I mean, because the scariest part of it all is starting.
Yeah.
Start.
Once you start, everything else will fall into place. Now that doesn't mean it's going to be paint by numbers. That doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It's going to
Nope.
be some rough patches. But once you start that motion, it's going to smooth out eventually. But you just got to trust yourself, trust God, and go do it.
Yeah. And for one other thing I would add to that, make sure the way I know if you truly bought into to yourself, because it's not buying into other people, but buying into yourself and what you believe. If I ask you the question, do your friends and family know what you do? Because I am always amazed, even to this day, and I'm always amazed at how often I speak with somebody and they say they're in business, and I said, well, do your friends and family know what you're doing? And they're like, well, I haven't really told them yet. So for those of you that are in that state, you're not in business yet. You haven't gotten off the bench. So you've got to own it. You've got to own it. You've got to, everybody has to know what you do, because they can't help you if they don't know what you do. And
Yeah.
so that vocal part of just mentioning it means you started to own the process, and you'll walk a different way, and because you're about serving people through whatever tool or service you provide.
That's right. That's right. Part of that, is a whole show in and of itself. You're talking about visualization and then manifesting. You got to go. I mean, we have 2 minutes. We can't do it all on that. But
Right.
say it out loud. Go look at yourself in the mirror, because you are your biggest weakness and you are your biggest fan. You can do it. And this is a great time to think about it. You got a couple of days off from the job to think about what you want to do with your career. you know,
That is true. I mean, I think, I don't know what scares people the most. I did want to put up, before we got out of here, just CrynoNow's website, share that with everybody for just a second here. And so you can see that. But, that is Brian Wesley and CrynoNow. And you can see, the products and services they provide. And again, whether it's Hydro Pros and some of the unique things they do there. But it's all there. They're open 24/7, and you can book online. Right now, they're even running a special 30% off. But anyway, that's all there at CrynoNow.com. So just wanted to throw
trust
that up
me,
there.
we've both done it and we survived it. It's cold, but it's fun. Put on some of your favorite music and move around in a circle. And when you get out, you're trying to worry about warming up. But a couple hours later, you'll feel rejuvenated. And it's been, like I said before, it's been an absolute pleasure to work with Brian and get to know him and his family. Truly special people, high energy, and they believe in what they do. And we're happy to have them as a part of the Urban Law family.
Absolutely. And, on the way out, first of all, to all of you, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Enjoy this time of year with your family. And I'm going to challenge everybody. I'm going to challenge everybody to go out and serve. Go out and serve in some way. Start Christmas off with the gift of service. So whether it's going to the nursing home that's close by and just speaking and spending some time, with individuals that may not have family visit them, or may not get anybody that comes by and say hello, whether it's feeding or serving in a soup kitchen, whether it's just find some way to help somebody, or whether it's paying for somebody that's behind you and passing it forward. Just do something of service this holiday season, because remember, in order to get something put in your hand, you got to give something out of your hands and out of your heart. So those are my closing words, Charles.
Well, in the vein of giving something, I'm going to give you two things. We know it's a lot of holiday parties. We know it's the holiday season. So that means here in Mississippi, all over the South, all over the United States, the police will be out in force. At this point in time, I would rather have you call Uber and spend $18 to get home than have to call us and spend a whole lot more. So be safe, wear those seatbelts, and enjoy your families and have a happy holiday season.
From Irvin Long, from our family to yours, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, be safe, and we'll see you. We won't be here next Friday, as we'll be off for the holidays, but we'll see you in 2019. Happy holidays, everyone.